Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Bonfire Racing League. I'm going to be your commentator, Jared the Showboat Kelly. We are here in Speedway, Indianapolis, at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for some Cup Series racing with the Bonfire Premier Cup Series. 2.5 miles is the racetrack. We're going to have 75 laps here today. Ambient temp is 73 degrees. Track temp is 100 degrees. And we have some qualifying underway. Let's see what we got on track. We got Justin White on track. As my overlays don't seem to want to work, we're not going to have any logos. Been trying to fix it all morning. Not sure what the issue is. But Buddy Sally on pole position right now. Justin White sitting 14th. Trying to get this out of the way. It doesn't look like Justin White's going to improve. Let's move on over to Ryan. So he got loose and he gets up into the wall. Saw it right there. But Brandon Shelton coming out pit road to do his first time to lap of the race. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this qualifying session. Buddy Sally's still your pole leader. But just a little bit in front of Brandon is David Medina, last week's winner at Pocono. Overall points leader. He goes third on the board. See what Brandon can do. Brandon across the line. It's going to be... I don't see a time popped up. So not sure what that's all about. Maybe he got up into the wall, got a 0x. Dave Medina going through turns 3 and 4 now. To the front straightaway. Down to the start-finish line. Can he improve? P1 for David Medina. Almost a 10th faster than Buddy Sally. And across the line for Brandon Shelton. Brandon goes 14th quickest overall. With just 2 minutes left to go in the session, I don't see anybody else on track for a lap. Ryan's down pit road and David Owens are down pit road. As Brandon and both Justin are making some laps, let me see if I can try and get the championship point standings up. See if this will work for me. And it's not going to work for me. The numbers are being weird, and I don't know why. But Dave Medina, your points leader with 89 points, followed by Buddy Sally with 85 points. Joe Volpes with 82, followed by Kevin Kyle, your top 4. Nick Mills in that top 5 position after battling hard at Pocono after an early incident with David Owens. Then it's Kyle and not David Buell in the top 7. David Owens, who finished dead last at Pocono, he's sitting in the 8th position overall, followed by Brandon Shelton and David Brenner, your top 10. Jax Duvall, Johnny Barker, Thomas Fox, and Dennis Puckett, those are your top 14. And if I remember correctly, we got to go on to the next two. Joseph Amato and Craig Hawkins, your guys are in the playoffs as it sits. Paul Ferniani, 1 point behind there. Brock Hawkins and Rob Chattery have some work to do. They want to get into those playoffs. Facility here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, an iconic venue for both IndyCar and NASCAR. See, the grandstands are filled up. These race fans wanting to see a great show. And I believe it's going to be time to start the race. So let's go to your grid. See what we have in store for you guys today. So as I said earlier, Dave Medina and Buddy Sally locking out your front row. And Chris Morrill and Justin Malarkey, those two part of FOCM. David Brenner, Joseph Amato in that 3rd row, followed by Johnny Barker and Mark Dumont, the Canadian, in the number 14 in the 8th position.
Boys all know the rules.
Joe Volpes and David Buell in that top 10. David Owens and Kyle Lynott.
Leader has lane choice. It's the Brickyard.
Brandon Shelton, Nick Mills in that 7th row, followed by Justin White coming back to the Bonfire Premier Cup Series, and Ryan Twynham in that 8th row. And it's Dennis Puckett and Paul Ferdiani in that last row. Kevin Kyle, he's up in the 4th position, so he's actually in front of Justin Malarkey. I'm not sure why it's being weird. I'm just going to turn down radios for just a little bit. Down to there. We'll get a couple little radio messages in and out, but we're not going to have it be overbearing. Actually, now that I think about it, let me just reset this and go down to there. How about that? Race car is going to start rolling here in any second. We will get underway here at the Brickyard. As the cars come through turns 3 and 4, they're going to come down that long front straightaway towards the yard of bricks. So I adjust the audio here for a quick second. Last year was quite a show. It involved some fuel strategy. We'll see if it happens here today, as Dave Medina is going to hit the Geico restart zone, but the flagman Barney, he's going to wave that green flag. Green flag up in the air. We're racing at the Brickyard. Joe Amato already looking to the inside of Justin Malarkey. They're going to go 3 wide. Going into turn number 1, they keep it clean. Johnny Barker right there behind David Brenner with Mark Dumont looking to his inside. So far, it's been a clean race. Joe Amato not wasting any time. He's already battling up there with the 2 FOCM drivers, Kevin Kyle and Chris Smorrell. Further back, David Beal looking to the inside of Mark Dumont. Joe Vulpes there on the top lane. Can't really go 3 wide in the corners here in these stock cars. But we're starting to see some early passing right now in the first lap of the race. Johnny Barker on the inside of David Brenner, trying to get up to that 7th position. Hear the throttle control from David Buell. Kevin Kyle trying to block the inside from Johnny Barker there in the 867. It looks like he's going to get to him, though, on the inside. They're going to be racing it down the back straightaway. Johnny Barker now under attack from David Buell, who's running that middle lane to some success. But up front, it is the Dave Medina and Buddy Sally show. Just like last week at Pocono, these 2 drivers pulling themselves away from the field. It's almost 2 seconds separating them from Chris Smorrell, who's a car in the 3rd position. Further back, Johnny Barker and Kevin Kyle going side by side. Johnny Barker going to get it done through corners number 3. He's going to have a clean line into turn number 4. Mark Dumont got really high up in turn number 4. David Brenner giving a little bit of a shove to the 1 of Kevin Kyle, telling him, come on, buddy, got you going. David Owens and Nick Mills sitting nose to tail. Those 2 drivers involved in an incident at Pocono. Didn't result in the yellow, so kind of set them both back. David Owens not able to continue that race. He had some pretty heavy damage getting into those sand barrels at the entry of pit road. David hoping to get a really good points day here at Indianapolis. Joe Vulpes and David Buell battling out in front of David Owens in the 11. Here comes David Brenner on the exit of turn number 2. He's going to go side by side as Joe Volpez, I think, got loose. He was down at the apron. Joseph Amano making the pass on Chris Morrill for that 3rd position, the 19 car fast here in Indianapolis. Might be one to watch, see what happens with those tires. Hopefully he's not running them very hard. But he's going to try and break the draft down the front straightaway. We'll see if that works. I know it works in the Indy cars, but see what happens here on the oval with these heavy stock cars. David Buell now on the inside of the 1. Not quite able to clear him. Kevin's not going to have help from David Owens. He's going to be left out to dry, as this is the hardest racing we see on the racetrack right now. Kyle just stuck on that outside lane, not able to get a decent run through the corners, not able to get down towards the bottom. See if Brandon Shelton, his teammate, can help him out there in the 2. Kevin Kyle dropping a bunch of spots. He started up there in the 4th position. He's now down to 12th. Not what the driver out of Laverne, California wants to see. He's got Kyle and not to his inside. Oh, there's Brandon Shelton up into the wall there. We saw it right then. Go back maybe and see what happened there. Yeah, he just gets up onto the racetrack, gets high, and just gets up into the outer wall. Luckily, he's not in an Indy car, or else that would be some extensive damage. It would have been the end of his day. But now, David Brenner on the rear bumper of Johnny Barker. That's for the 6th position. This guy's 2 seconds behind Justin Malarkey and Chris Morrill. David Brenner maybe got up into the wall there. Yeah, we see the right front damage to that 22 car. I think it was just a scuff, though. I don't think he hit it very hard. To see how that handling of that race car is now. But we're on the 10th lap, and Dave Medina still out front in front of Buddy Sally by 0.4 of a second. Expect maybe 2 pit stops here today. Lap 25. Start seeing some green flag pit stop. If they can make it that far, I'm not quite sure how much fuel they're using per lap. Dave Medina trying to break that draft from Buddy Sally. Starting to play some games here early in the race. David Buell fighting back, catching up to David Brenner. I think David Brenner wants to get by the 867, but can't quite get a run to do it. Here comes David Buell to the inside. Brandon Shelton and Joe Volpez are going side by side. Brandon Shelton up into the outside wall. See that right front fender's a little knocked in, a little broken, probably from that contact with the wall. got Dennis Puckett and Justin White sitting behind these two. This battle in the mid-pack is still hot. David Brenner, David Owens, and Nick Mills all trying to continue their speed. As it looked like Dennis Puckett lost a lot of speed, maybe letting Justin White by. I don't see any damage on that car, but I looked at the timetable and saw he was losing a lot of time fairly quickly. Johnny Barker and David Buell going side by side. David Brenner hoping to get a good run here out of 2. He's going to jump behind the 867. Nick Mills is going to pass David Owens for the 9th position. David Buell holding strong there on that inside line. Got a little tight there, maybe screwed up just a bit. David Brenner gonna be right on his rear bumper now. Buddy Sally dropping off some time, almost a gap separating him and David Medina is almost a second now. Even the handling's falling off that 21 car. Finally, David Buell is going to get by Johnny Barker, see if David Medina or David Brenner, he's alongside of him, see if he can get the spot. But Johnny Barker holding tough there on the outside. Nick Mills now coming to support his teammate in the 52. As David Brenner way up into the marbles in turn number 1. Had to get out of the gas there. Let's go back and see if we can watch from David Brenner's perspective. Just had to wait for that car to catch. He's going to lose all those spots. Nick Mills now working on the 867. I think both him and David Owens got up into the fence there. As these two are rubbing, Nick Mills and Johnny Barker, Johnny losing all those spots that he was holding on to. It's gone backwards fast for the 867. See if we can go back and see what happened there with Nick Mills. Slight contact through 3 and 4. We can see there that now Johnny Barker is just losing all those spots. Going into turn number 1. as 6 through 12. I'm looking at it correctly. Only separated by almost a second. It's Kyle and not going around the outside on Johnny Barker. Joe Volpus and Justin White trying to make their way back up to this group. It's David Brenner and David Owens going side by side down the front straightaway. Excuse me, Ryan Twynham into the pits. Not sure what happened. He jumped into the pits. And I think it's some computer issues for the number 8. But Dave Medina is still 1.5 seconds up front in front of Buddy Sally and Joseph Amato. But Chris Morrill starting to track in to that 19 car. See the 19's pushing on exit. You saw him get a little loose there. I see he wants to do is get up to the wall like Johnny Barker there in the back. He got up into the fence. That's going to allow Joe Volpus and Justin White to get a decent run on him. Back to this battle with the 19 and the 5. Perhaps only 3/10. But still closer than what Joseph Amato would want. As he's having to slow way up for the entry of the corner. Chris Morrill diving it in hard. Chris going to try and get a run here down the back straightaway, see if he's close enough. He's looking to the inside. See if Chris can get it done here. And he does. He clears the 19. What does the 19 do in response? Looks like he's got nothing for him. Joe Volpus down pit road. Might be starting to see some green flag pit stops happen. I must be able to go more than 25 laps on fuel. So I think maybe Joe is going to try and do the undercut here. Paul Ferdiani in the 44, haven't said much about him today. He's also down pit road for tires and fuel. He's on that last pit box. David Beal and Nick Mills still going at it against each other. Johnny Barker there 1 lap down. We didn't see him come down pit road, but looks like on lap 20 he came down. Looks like you lose about 53 seconds down pit road for a 14 to 15 second stop. So Joel Volpus doing 51 seconds down pit road. So you're at least losing a lap here at Indianapolis. See Joe there right next to Johnny Barker. Those two gonna be racing for position. Right now, if a caution were to come out, Johnny Barker would get the lucky dog. And Joe Volpez and Paul Ferdiani would have to resort to the waiver round. But David Owens, Kevin Kyle, and Kyle Knott all battling it out there. That's going to be for the 9th position. Kevin Kyle wanting to get back into that top 10. As we hit the 1/3 mark next time by. As David Owens looking to the inside. They're going to be 3 wide going down the back straightaway. Kevin Kyle with an awesome job getting by both of them through the middle. Let's try and go back and see what that run was for Kevin Kyle. Try and back it up here if I can. There we go, out of turn number 2. Let's see what happens. Looks like David Owen gets loose and Kevin just has an awesome run on Kyle Knott. So Moses parting the Red Seas and Kevin Kyle over here. David Owen still behind Kyle Knott. David Brenner's getting a shove from David Buell down the back straightaway. As we saw David Buell head down pit road. David Brenner's going to try and chase down Nick Mills in the 88. David Owens still behind his teammate, as he's going to try and clean off the nose, get some clean air through turn number 3. See him run a little bit high over there. As now we start seeing a lot of guys come down pit road. Kevin Kyle, David Brenner, and David Owens. Those 3 drivers coming down pit road. So definitely starting to see some green flag pit stops take place. As Joseph Amato got loose there, or maybe he's coming down to get into the slipstream of David Buell down the back straightaway, but Nelson Malarkey is coming. He is right on the rear bumper of the 19. Lap traffic making a factor for this battle for the 4th position. And it looks like Justin Malarkey's going to come down pit road with Nick Mills right behind him. Dave Medina also down pit road. So the leader is down pit road. Buddy Sally going to take the lead of this race, get that extra bonus point for leading the lap. Justin White, Dennis Puck, and Mark Duma also down pit road. So only 5 cars left to pit. Joe Volpez is right behind the 867. David Buell and David Owens going at it there as well behind Kevin Kyle. There goes Justin Malarkey and Chris Morrill and Buddy Sally down pit road. So Brandon Shelton and Kyle and I think are the only 2 left to pit. As we do see Brandon Shelton down pit road. So Kyle and I gonna stay out long. Try and gamble here, see if he has some late stint speed. See if he'll look into the inside of Kevin Kyle there for the 11th position. As Brandon Shelton's coming out, Kyle Lanott's going in. So Dave Medina going to cycle back up to that lead. Lead Buddy Sally is just coming out of pit road, but it's a huge gap between him and David Medina for the lead. Gap's almost 4 seconds. Nick Mills is catching up to Justin Malarkey there. Nick Mills putting himself back into the fight for the top 5. Could see a podium here from the 88 today. I think he's got his eyes set up for 3rd. Maximizing all he can down pit road. Right behind Justin Malarkey there in the 73. They're back. David Owens still trying to work on Kevin Kyle in there in the 1. It's for the 10th position. He's going to get by him. David Brenner going to try and get by him as well. He's going to push Kevin Kyle back to the 12th position. Joseph Motto's trying to creep up on Chris Morrow there. Try and get back in front of him. See the distance there. From our camera on top of the pagoda. Ryan Twynham is back out on the racetrack. Probably solved those computer issues. He's 6 laps down. Not the result he wanted today for the driver in the number 8. Joe Volpa still trying to track down the 867. This fight here to get into the top 10 is hot. Kevin Kyle almost got in a little too deep, almost into the back of the 22. So we are approaching close to the halfway point. Dave Owens going to try and side draft the 52. He's got his teammate David Brenner behind him. Kevin Kyle wanting a good solid run here through turn 3 and 4. David Brenner kind of stalled out there alongside the 52. Out of turn number 4. See if Kevin Kyle's got some momentum. He's going to push the 52. Nick Mills got around Justin Malarkey there. Let's try and go back and see what that pass looked like. Down onto those rumble strips in turn 1. Almost lost it there. Through the short shoot towards turn number 2. But he was able to get it done there. Kevin Kyle right behind David Brenner for that 11th position.
behind you that last run. See if me and you can work together. Not having a running mate killing you.
You up for me?
I read the comment section. My mic is muted, so it should be fixed now. I believe everybody's going to have to make one more stop. Dave Medina going to go to the outside. Joe Amato electing to go to the inside. We're going to go on board with the 21 of Buddy Sally on the in-car for this restart. This pace car's going to dive down onto pit road. It's going to be all Joseph Amato. So he's going to hit the Geico restart zone and take off. Gonna be a good jump for Buddy Sally. He's gonna be alongside Dave Medina there. See if he can clear him going into turn number 1. And he does. He clears him into turn number 1. So Buddy Sally gonna try and hold on and stay in front of Dave Medina as long as he can. Joe Amato is going to dive down to the bottom, but he's gonna lose that spot to Buddy Sally and David Medina. So the old tire's not working out for the 19. Hopefully that doesn't cause issues with the rest of the field, as the rest of the field is 2x2. Just malarkey there on the inside. Dennis Puckett got loose. Can he save it? He can. That's just really close of spinning in front of the field. It's going to make him drop back down to the 11th position. So battle up here is not quite over. So everybody's trying to make their way to the bottom and get past the 19 as quickly as they can. Kevin Kyle trying to get all the momentum he can. Now Nick Mills into the back of the 19. Nick probably feels like he slowed him down. He's up into the wall. 19 is. He's going to drop back there. Now the back of the field is going to try and get around him. So the strategy not quite working out like 19 would have wanted. Mark Dumont up high. David Brenner had a evasive action there. I think he thought he might have cleared the 14. Joseph Amato is now going to go down pit road, but we see he's got that right front damage. So he's not going to have the aero like everybody else is. Probably going to slow him down in the long run. Pretty decent damage there on the right front. Chris Smorl in that third position with Justin Malarkey right behind him. But the battle for the lead is on between Buddy Sally and David Medina. David Medina not doing anything quite yet. It's going to be 25 to go this time by. Laps winding down here at Indianapolis. Joe Amato coming out of pit road now. See if he's going to come out in front of leaders. It looks like he is. Or he's going to come out equal to the leader. Hopefully that doesn't play an issue here. Doesn't look like it will. Joseph Amato still has that right side damage. It's going to make Chris Morrill go to the outside. Kind of slows up Justin Malarkey as well. Nick Mills in that fight now, but I don't want to pull away from this battle for the lead between Buddy Sally and David Medina. David Medina right on the rear bumper of the 21. But he's going to get a really good run here out of corner number 2. Dave Medina doing such a good job in the draft. He's able to close up to the 21's rear bumper. Mills falling off a little bit from Kyle, not just in front of him. I'm sure he'll be able to make back it up to the rear bumper. He always does. But Brandon Sheldon up in that 9th position. Good, decent rebound for the 2 car. Was outside the top 15 at one point. If he can hold on today, it'd be a really good finish for the 2. Justin Malarkey, Joe Volpis, and Chris Morrill all fighting for that podium position. As up front, Dave Medina looked low. Buddy Sally covering it off, but it is going to be a run down the front straightaway. David not doing anything yet. Lifts early, get a really good rotation through turn number 1 as there's a slow car up there. Not sure who that is. Looks like, oh, it's David Buell there in the 52. After he spent a good amount of time down pit road, maybe some damage there for the 52. He's 3 laps down. Not sure what happened to David Buell there. Maybe I can see something from here. Oh, David Buell got loose there. into the outside wall hard. Hurt car for the 52. That's not going to feel so good in the point standings. Oh, it's just Malarkey into the outside wall hard. That's going to be some decent damage for the 73. Looked like he hit it square, though, but still a good amount of contact with the wall. Trying to push up to Chris Morrill. But Dave Medina is not going away. Go to that camera. 20 to go, almost 19, and Dave Medina is not giving up on the rear bumper of Buddy Sally. Buddy Sally trying to do everything he can to hold on. He's up high, probably too high. Now Dave Medina have a decent run into turn number 4. Maybe the handling starting to fall away on that 21 car. But as we have a train here, Chris Morrill on the rear bumper. Justin Malarkey making the pass on Chris Morrill now. Justin Malarkey going to the inside of Dave Medina with a huge run. Now the battle for the lead is starting to heat up. Top 7, almost the top 8, covered by only a second. Dave Medina now, he saw the field behind him. He realizes he's got to go now if he's going to win this race. See what Buddy Sally can do here. Justin Malarkey looking to the inside. Dave Medina back to the lead of this race. So now Justin Malarkey's going to take over that second position. Oh, as Nick Mills spins out with contact from Chris Morrill. Not enough to cause a yellow, but try and go back there and see what happened. Rewind it here just a bit. See, he was 3 wide with Joe Volpis. Joe got tight on the bottom, gets up into Nick. Luckily, he doesn't go down pit road or hit any of those cones. But Nick Mills falling back to the 8th position. Chris Morrill fell back to 9th after that contact. Kevin Kyle now up into the 5th position, but he's got Kyle and Knott and Joseph Amato behind them. 17 to go. See if Kevin Kyle can hold on. Joseph Amato still 1 lap down, so he's not racing for position. Kyle and Knott gonna look to the inside of the 1. Justin White got a little loose there back there. Actually, I don't think that was I think it was. Kyle and Knott making the pass on Kevin Kyle fairly easily. But Justin Malarkey taking the lead of this race. Sorry, we missed it. Let's go back and see that pass for the lead going into turn number 3. Just an easy pass there for the lead. Nick Mills trying to make the move on Brandon Shelton there for the 7th position. almost getting into the wall there, coming out of turn number 4. But this battle up front is not over. Top 3 are under half a second. It's great racing here in the later stages of this race at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. But he sallied hard into turn number 1. Joe Volpe is starting to sneak his way up into this fight. Now Joe Volpe is going to look to the inside of the 21 for the 3rd position. Get it done here into turn number 4. No, he backs out of it, but he's Sally able to hold on to it. 13 laps left to go here. Brandon Shelton trying to help his teammate Kevin Kyle out best he can. Mark Dumont and David Buell are the only 2 out of this race. To go. Only see a few other battles for position. David Brown trying to catch up to Dennis Puckett there for the top 10 position. I'm looking at the data correctly, and it's probably a little slower that last time around, so David Brenner going to try his best to get around the 12. We've also got Kevin Kyle and Brandon Shelton, those 2 teammates probably trying to work together, as Nick Mills has Joseph Amato trying to get by him, not for position. Kevin Kyle now on the outside of Nick. And try and have a run into turn number 2. Can't quite get there yet. We could have some help from Brandon Shelton behind him. Justin Malarkey still out front with 10 laps left to go. These guys are not driving like they need to save fuel. So maybe they're good on fuel. But nothing really developing here in the top 4. David Owens starting to now catch up to Brandon Shelton. So maybe Brandon Shelton's going to have to start defending there from the 11. As Dennis Puckett's going to come down pit road. He pitted with that group during that yellow, so maybe we are going to see some fuel strategy take place as we are about under 9 laps left to go in this race. Still a little confused on the fuel number, but we see Dave Medina dropped off about half a second from Justin Malarkey. Maybe Dave Medina trying to save a little bit of fuel here as the laps are winding down here at Indianapolis. Kevin Kyle, Brandon Shelton got past Nick Mills. Not sure what happened there. But now David Owens looking to the inside of the double 8. Nick able to hold on there for out of turn number 4. Now David Owens battling out with his teammate in the 22. Kevin Kyle's got the lap traffic of Joseph Amato in front of him. Joseph's lap times are slower than the 1. He's going to get out of the way. Really want to pull away from this battle, but Dave Medina caught back up to Justin Malarkey there. Paul Ferniani and Dennis Puckett in front of them. I want to go back and see that pass from Nick Mills. Kevin Kyle back on lap 68. I don't think that was it. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, I think it was this one going into turn number 2. I think that's when it took place. Five to go here in Indianapolis. Dave Medina still behind Justin Malarkey. Buddy Sally just about 4/10 behind Justin Malarkey there. Kyle Anott up in that 4th position. He's 1.4 seconds behind the leader. And it's Joel Volpes in that top 5 position. Justin Malarkey trying to break the draft. The only thing that can help Justin Malarkey now is Buddy Sally gets up there and starts fighting with Dave Medina for position. Dave Medina looked like he was looking to the inside there through corner number 3. Down the front straightaway we come for 4 laps left to go. Justin Malarkey still trying to break the draft. Is it a possibility that they're going to catch this lap traffic? Medina caught up to Justin Malarkey. He's looking to the inside of the 73. Couldn't get it done right then and there. This battle is happening. David Brenner made the pass on Kevin Kyle for the 7th position. Kevin back to the 8th position. As the fans here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway are loving this battle for the lead. 3 cars in the fight for it. But Justin Malarkey now starting to pull away from the 9. Dave Medina closed back up to him. Justin Malarkey went high there. They're going to be side by side going into corner number 4. Mistake happening for the 73. Dave Medina back up to the lead with 2 laps left to go. Now Dave Medina is going to start trying to pull away down the back straightaway. Buddy Sally looking to the inside of the 73, going into corner number 3. Buddy's going to have to be perfect here if he's going to catch up to the 9 of Dave Medina, because out at turn number 4, he's going to be on to the front straightaway. With 1 more lap left to go here in Indy. Gap's 0.35. Down the back straightaway for the final time. 0.3 of a second separates first and second. David Medina has led the most laps here at Indy. He's trying to hang on for the win. Buddy Sally slow through turn 3. Don't think he's going to have a shot here out of turn number 4. Doesn't look like it, but Dave Medina is going to come home to the start-finish line. Dave Medina wins here in Indianapolis. Buddy Sally coming home in 2nd. Kyle Anott in 3rd. Justin Malarkey fell back to 4th. Joe Volpis coming home in the top 5 in that last and final spot in 5th. David Brenner coming home at 6th. Kevin Kyle 7th. David Owens 11th. Justin White 9th. Nick Mills 10th. Braden Shelton just missing out on that top 10 in the 11th position. Chris Moore, who was running up front, had contact with Nick Mills and Joe Volpis there in turner number 4. Then it's going to be Dennis Puckett and Johnny Barker, who got spun there by Kyle Anott around the halfway point. Then it's Joseph Amato, Paul Ferdiani, Ryan Twynham, Mark Dumont, and David Buell. But Dave Medina is going to burn it down here on the yard of bricks.
Keep my 0 access, help people get to pit road.
Dave Medina, is he out of fuel? I think David Medina's out of fuel, yeah, so not much of a burnout for David Medina. But we are going to go to our results. Dave Medina coming home, winning back-to-back at Pocono and Indy. That's going to extend his lead in the regular season championship. Buddy Sally coming home, runner-up again. But I feel like a win's coming for that 21 car. Kyle Annott coming home third. I think we have the top three from last week as well. But Justin Malarkey coming home fourth. Joe Volpis coming home fifth. David Brenner, Kevin Kyle, David Owens, Justin White, and Nick Mills rounding out your top 10. Then it's Brandon Shelton, Chris Morrill, Dennis Puckett, Johnny Barker, all on the lead lap. Then it's Joseph Amato, Paul Ferdiani, Ryan Twynham, Mark Dumont, and David Buell rounding out the field. As I try and scroll back up. We are gonna... I don't see any drivers in the chat yet. But I'm sure they're gonna hop in here any second. Guess I don't see anybody coming in, so I guess I'll wrap it up here. Dave Medina coming home with the win here at Indianapolis, going to extend his points lead in the regular season. Just by a little bit, though. Buddy Sally coming home second is going to help him out, staying in that second position. And, yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday night. I got to look to see where Tuesday's night is at. I know I looked at it yesterday, but looks like they're going to be at Auto Club for what looks to be 95 laps over there in Fontana. So we're going to have some good racing over at the West Coast. Should be a good time. And then we'll be back Sunday morning next week for the Bonfire Premier Cup as they hit the Chicago Street Course for our first road course of the race. Maybe expect the road course ringer Jason Landry to maybe make an appearance. He made the track guide for the Bonfire Premier Cup guides. So who knows if Jason Landry doesn't show up, we may have a different road course winner than just me and him. Somebody else. That should be a good time. No yellows for that one, but it'll be our first road course, and I'm looking forward to broadcasting that one. Should be a really good time. But I'm going to close it out here from Speedway, Indiana. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you Tuesday night for the trucks.